Paper capacitor is also known as a fixed capacitor, in which paper is used as the dielectric material. The amount of electric charge stored by the paper capacitor is fixed. It consists of two metallic plates, and paper, which is used as a dielectric material, is placed between these plates.
Polystyrene capacitor properties. These capacitors provide high insulation, low leakage, low dielectric absorption, low distortion, and excellent temperature stability. In view of their properties, polystyrene capacitors can often be used in place of silver mica or ceramic disc capacitors. Polystyrene film capacitor.
Bipolar electrolytic capacitors, which may be operated with either polarity, are also made using special constructions with two anodes connected in series. A bipolar electrolytic capacitor can also be made by connecting two normal electrolytic capacitors in series, anode to anode or cathode to cathode. An electrolytic capacitor is a capacitor that uses an oxide film made of aluminum, tantalum, or other oxidizable metal as a dielectric. Because of its potential for large capacitance, this type of capacitor is used extensively in power supply circuits and similar applications. Polycarbonates are a group of thermoplastic polymers which find uses in many areas of industry as they are easily molded and thermoformed. They also possess a number of useful features in that they are temperature-resistant, impact-resistant. Polycarbonate is also used in capacitors as a dielectric.
Polyester capacitors are capacitors composed of metal plates with polyester film between them, or a metallized film is deposited on the insulator. They have a high temperature coefficient. They have high isolation resistance, so they are good choice capacitors for coupling and/or storage applications.
The mylar capacitor, also known as a polyester capacitor, is a type of film capacitor with high energy densities. It uses polyester as the solid dielectric material for energy storage. It can also classify non-electrolytic capacitors.
Silver mica capacitors are used in applications which call for low capacitance values and high stability, while exhibiting low losses. Their main use is in power RF circuits where stability is of utmost importance. Silver mica capacitors are used in high-frequency tuned circuits, such as filters and oscillators.
A ceramic capacitor is a fixed-value capacitor where the ceramic material acts as the dielectric. It is constructed of two or more alternating layers of ceramic and a metal layer acting as the electrodes. The composition of the ceramic material defines the electrical behavior and therefore applications.
Tantalum capacitor definition. Tantalum capacitors are electrolytic capacitors which use tantalum metal for the anode. They are polarized capacitors with superior frequency and stability characteristics.
A feed-through is a conductor used to carry a signal through an enclosure or printed circuit board. Like any conductor, it has a small amount of capacitance. A feed-through capacitor has a guaranteed minimum value of shunt capacitance built in it and is used for bypass purposes in ultra-high frequency applications.
Trimmer capacitor definition. A trimmer capacitor is a variable capacitor used for initial calibration and recalibration of equipment. It is commonly mounted directly on a PCB and accessed only by professional repairmen, not the end user. Gang capacitor in general consist of interwoven sets of metallic plates in which one is fixed and the other is variables. Ganged capacitor is shown here is a combination of two capacitors connected together.